Literary societies at Washington and Jefferson College played an important role in its academics and student life, especially during the 18th and 19th century. Washington and Jefferson College is a private liberal arts college in Washington, Pennsylvania, which is located in the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. The college traces its origin to three log cabin colleges in Washington County, Pennsylvania, established by three frontier clergymen in the 1780s, John McMillan, Thaddeus Dod, and Joseph Smith. These early schools eventually grew into two competing colleges, with Jefferson College in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania being chartered in 1802 and Washington College being chartered in 1806. These two schools merged in 1865 to form Washington and Jefferson College. The history of literary societies at Washington and Jefferson College dates back to 1797, when the Franklin Literary Society and the Philo Literary Society were founded at Canonsburg Academy. Two other literary societies were founded at Washington College: the Union Literary Society in 1809 and the Washington Literary Society in 1814. Typical early activities include the presentation of dialogues, translations of passages from Greek or Latin classics, and extemporaneous speaking. Later, the literary societies began to present declamations. Each society maintained independent libraries for the use of the members, each of which rivaled the holdings of the respective colleges. These four college literary societies had intense rivalries with each other, competing in contests, which pitted select society members against another in compositions, speaking, select orations, and debating, with the trustees selecting the victor. Because the two colleges never met each other in athletic contests, these literary competitions were the main outlet for the rivalry. In the years after the union of the two colleges, these four literary societies merged with the Franklin Literary Society, which survives today. Founding and operation: the literary societies at Washington and Jefferson College, and its predecessor Jefferson College, Washington College, Canonsburg Academy, and Washington Academy, developed in order to make students more familiar with debate, literature, oratory, and writing. According to W. M. McMillan, professor of English language and literature at Washington and Jefferson College, the literary societies existed to make young men in college familiar with parliamentary rules, with the perennial themes of human discussion, and to give them a readier use of the mother tongue. Typical early activities include the presentation of dialogues, translations of passages from Greek or Latin classics, and extemporaneous speaking. Later, the literary societies began to present declamations. In their early stages, all of the societies were secret, with revelations to the outside incurring fines and banishment. Other infractions could incur fines, including the use of profanity, the wearing of boots, quoting scripture during debate, and whittling. At Washington, fines were levied against any student presenting any ludicrous piece calculated merely to excite laughter. Each society maintained independent libraries for the use of the members. At various times, members of the societies feared that the collection would be confiscated by the administration. Critics of the Washington and Union literary societies complained that the members frequented taverns too frequently. While the societies held rivalries with each other, Franklin men were seen as Puritans, Philos the Cavaliers, Washington having the intellectualism, and Union the pious ones. Steps were taken to maintain a semblance of parity. Washington and Union agreed not to admit any additional members if the number of members in one society exceeded the other by more than 5. Conversely, Philo denied membership to a number of men during a period when Franklin's membership was low. Following the enrollment decline during the Civil War and the union of the two colleges in 1865, Franklin and Philo merged to form Franklin, and Washington and Union merged to form Union. By 1885, all literary societies had merged the libraries with the colleges, while Washington College and Jefferson College had a rivalry prior to the union in 1865. The two colleges never faced each other in athletic contests. Instead, the rivalry expressed itself in the literary field. Debate and contest. It was debate, both intra-society and between competing societies, that was the focus of attention. Debate's topics ranged from ought females to receive a liberal education at Washington in 1817, to would the removal of Jefferson College to Washington be a public advantage at Philo in 1817. The question of, is female modesty natural or artificial, debated at one of the first meetings of Franklin, was decided to be natural. On the question of, are spirituous liquors of advantage to society, Charles Lucas argued the position. Amongst student intra-society awards for skill at debate were more esteemed than being named first in one's graduating class. While intra-society debate was popular, the inter-society contest was the day of destiny and of absorbing interest in campus life. Contests pitted select society members against another in public debate, composition, and oratory. The first contest was in August 1799, when Philo challenged Franklin to contest of compositions, speaking, select orations, and debating, to take place before the trustees, who would select the victor. At times, contests became raucous affairs, with oratories punctuated by yells of objection from the crowd, like, "I'd like to know on what basis." The contest topics include serious discussions like, does belief in moral truth necessarily incite to fulfilling moral obligation, causing some of the more droll members to propose non-nonsensical topics, like, could a chimera ruminating in a vacuum devour second intentions? Future copperhead Congressman Clement Vallandigham and future Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania Ulysses Mercure famously debated the question of succession, with Mercure being declared the victor.